Okay, class. This is going to be a demo on how to apply some fundamental color pencil techniques to get you some effects similar to what you see over here. You want to use your small 4-axis mandala. The materials you're going to need is a lighter color, a darker color, and then the white colored pencil. The first tip that I have for you is to use light pressure, as well as starting with a light color. In this case, it's a pinkish kind of magenta that I'm using here. If you use light pressure, you're going to be able to add multiple light layers, one on top of the other, and it'll give you a much smoother finish. Every time you add a second layer, a subsequent layer, turn your paper a little bit so that the stroke direction changes, and then the little in-between spots, the paper texture will slowly go away, and you'll be able to achieve a nice smooth finish, texture-wise. The thing that I don't want you to do, I'll demonstrate, is just full pressure, really scribbly from the get-go. We want to avoid that as much as possible. So you're choosing your lighter color and using lighter pressure to lay down blocks of color with smooth textures. Next, the recommendation I got for you is to use multiple colors within the same space. I switched out my color for a more primary red, and I'm laying it down at the tips and fading it in toward the center. Oftentimes we choose colored pencils and just use that one color for particular shapes. Not limited to that, okay? You can get some darker or slightly different hues and lay them one on top of the other and work in layers like you see here. Third recommendation I have for you is to use colored lines to accentuate the line work that you've put down. You've put a lot of work into drawing out the lines. They tend to get dominated when you're using colored pencils. Colored pencils usually dominate graphite. However, if you go over the line work with colored pencils, you can preserve your line work and it'll look just as good. Fourth and last best practice I have for you to try out is using the white colored pencil to do something called burnishing. This is a case where you want to be using very firm pressure. It might be a little difficult to see on camera, but as you apply firm pressure over an area that you've already colored, you should see an improvement in the textures. I'll show you separately over here. Even if we're talking about really roughly colored area like you see here, burnishing can still make a difference if you go in there with some white colored pencil. If you have Prismacolor pencils, some better quality pencils, they actually provide clear color pencils that you can burnish with too. But for now, with the student grade stuff that we're working with, white color pencil just does fine. Okay, thanks for listening.